Kelly Kendall, a student at UNC Chapel Hill, on the phone for us. She went to West Forsyth High School here in the Triad. Kelly, how have you been feeling now that the all clear has been given?
Hey there. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a sense of relief, but there's also a huge sense of sadness, especially as those reports of a faculty member possibly dying. I've had friends, especially because this happened at the labs, who are wondering, was this a professor that I had? Was this someone who taught me, who gave me the knowledge to be successful in my career? I mean, those are the thoughts that are going through some of my friends' minds right now. And as I've been returning back to my home, just giving my friends hugs and being so grateful to, we got up this morning. None of us thought there's a chance that we wouldn't see our roommates again, but that very quickly became the reality here. So I think for my friends personally, it's been a huge relief to give each other those big hugs and hold each other a little tighter this afternoon.
Kelly, how do you personally plan to move forward beyond this? How do you think the campus will respond for their students?
I mean, I am shaken up. I know my peers are shaken up. I think some students, and me included, we're all going to need some time to process this. I don't think it's likely to have students just be able to come to class tomorrow morning feeling normal again. I do think students are going to need time to process this, and A, to understand their grief, and B, just to become comfortable again in Chapel Hill. I mean, we are all so aware of these things going on. We've grown up hearing about these school shootings, yet it never seems real until it happens. So I do think people are going to need some time to take this all in.
Kelly, now that we are 4 hours into the situation, I know the school has given the all clear, the lockdown has been lifted. Authorities are telling folks to stay away from Caudill. Is the mood on campus any different since that all clear? Where are you at right now?
I am currently on campus myself, and looking around, there's not a lot of folks walking around, but from what I can see here on Cameron Avenue, I'm passing by the iconic old well, which represents UNC. There's a lot of traffic on this road, so I'm assuming it's a lot of people trying to pick up their friends, or maybe parents trying to pick up their kids and get as far away as possible and be able to go home and process this. But not a lot of folks walking around.
What do you want to see from the university? Are you one of those students who was frustrated with the lack of information being passed along?
Yes, I think it would have been nice to get more updates along the way. I think all of us are on the edge of our seat, really hoping to get this news from the university that the worst has not happened, even though it seems like it may have. But yes, I mean, being under lockdown for 3.5 hours is a very long time. And having seen one suspect arrested who was not the correct person, I think made us all feel an even heightened sense of fear that the suspect who's now been in custody by Chapel Hill police, he was out there for so long. And I think that was frightening for students.
And Kelly, you mentioned the wrong arrest. That's one of the questions we are hoping reporters will ask at tonight's press conference. But that also is a great picture, great illustration of just how chaotic the event was.
Absolutely, yes. I mean, there were, as a lot of these events unfold, of course, students are hopping on their phones. We were hearing a lot of rumors about the number of shooters, where they were active shootings still going on. And so it was just, as you said, it was chaotic. It was just terrifying. And I mean, having friends who were on campus in buildings during this was just so gut-wrenching, just praying that they're okay. And I'm glad that they are safe, and I just hope that most of the Carolina community is safe.
And now, Kelly, we're supposed to hear from law enforcement coming up here shortly within the hour. As a student, what is the main question that you would like for them to answer?
I think I want to know how this can be stopped in the future, and what systems weren't in place that should have been placed to prevent this from happening, and what we can do to respond better next time. It seems to me like there is a lot of fear within buildings. Some of my friends seem like they did not quite know what to do when they were in campus buildings, and to me, there should be a more clear procedure for these things. I'm not sure if that does exist, but the sense I got from folks on campus was there was a bit of confusion. So just answers to why did this happen and how can we stop it?
And have you heard, Kelly, of any, I don't know, gatherings or anything that students are trying to put together just in the wake of this to stand in unity at all? Has anything been planned yet?
I have not personally heard of anything going on. I think people are still trying to take in what happened and fully process it. And of course, we still don't know the number of victims or how many students or faculty members may or may not have been injured or killed. So I think until that information comes out, students are just kind of reeling from this event and letting that shock settle in. So I have not heard of anything yet.